Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 48th episode of Grave Matters. I'm Creepy Clown Girl. Philia Noctis couldn't be here, so filling in for her is PA Nightmares and the Sleeping Wendigo. Hi, you guys. How are you?
Hello.
I'm good. What's up, you sexy people?
Hey, y'all. So let's see who's in the chat, and we'll introduce who's with us today. I see General. Hi, General.
What up, dude?
Derringer. Dude.
So far, that's everyone I see. Derringer, General, and Patience.
Hi, Patience.
Hey, Patience.
So, everyone, please introduce Brain Connect. Everyone, tonight we have Ray Demon, and alongside of him is his lovely wife, Jellybean. Hi, guys.
Hey, how you doing, guys? You alright?
Good. Gotta love that accent.
Ray's in his Australian accent at the moment because he's drinking Foster's.
Oh. Awesome.
British accent. The only accent that can insult you and make it sound good.
Or as Raven likes, torture TV.
We are hashtagging that.
And no TV
Yes.
like torture TV.
Right. So, Ray.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about yourself, for those who may not be familiar with you.
Yeah, I am a author, creepypasta writer. I started writing probably about two and a half years ago now, maybe?
Yeah, about that.
About 2.5 years ago. I submit stories to narrators, voice actors. You may have seen some of my work on Raven's channel, PA Nightmares channel, and quite various other ones. I have a few books that I've done, but yeah, generally just a writer putting out some spooky stories.
You have phenomenal work. Phenomenal.
Cheers.
Just an Australian British author. Nothing really.
Is there a genre or a genre that you won't write?
To be honest, I haven't thought about it. When I first started writing, it was because of Jelly, my wife.
Hi.
Yeah. She got me into horror. It was not something that I was into a lot before I met her, and she kind of showed me the light, to put it mildly.
Indoctrinated you into horror.
Basically, yeah, she indoctrinated me. But yeah, like ever since, I've been kind of in love with everything that goes behind horror, the psychological aspect of it, what makes people afraid, just anything that's basically good scares. So yeah, ever since then, it's just been horror. I haven't actually even thought about writing anything else, have I?
No, you haven't.
No, just purely horror.
So you like the on the edge of your seat, let me mess with your head horror. Got it. Love it.
What I quite find interesting about horror is when it explores the human aspect, the human side of things.
Right.
So I'm a firm believer that the most scariest thing on this planet is other people. What they're thinking, what they're feeling, what they can do. Just things like that. So I like exploring just the inner workings of people and their darkest spaces, basically.
No, Ray, I'm going to require more self-aware stories from you.
And it also is self-aware stories. It was actually a series I've done for PA Nightmares. It was quite self-aware, and it kind of poked fun at certain horror cliches. I quite enjoyed writing that one.
Well,
the second I noticed that, I made it a point. I pointed that out and told him that was like my favorite element of the story, and so he incorporated into the other two parts because apparently that wasn't an idea he had until I just told him how much I love the fact that this character's just like, I suck and I know I suck.
100%. You was definitely the inception for that. When I originally wrote The Night Watchman Part 1, I was hurrying to get 3 stories out for my first Halloween being a writer.
Yeah.
So there wasn't any sort of really sort of deep ideas in there about where it was going to go. But yeah, when you pointed it out, I thought it was really quite funny, so I went quite heavy with it. So yeah, you definitely need to credit for that one, PA.
I loved it.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers. Damn, I need a beer now. Anyways, so Wendigo, any questions for Ray?
Yes. Since starting your channel and where it is now, where do you see your channel going in the future?
Or your writings?
Yeah, or writing.
That's a very good question. I have aspirations to write another full-length novel. I wrote one in 2019, was it? Maybe?
Yeah,
2019?
2019.
2019. That, I kind of rushed through it. I had what I considered to be a good idea, and I got so obsessed with just trying to get it all done really quickly. So I think the story suffered. If I had to go back and do it again, I would probably take my time a bit more. But for the next 5 years, hopefully putting out another novel, maybe another collection of short stories, and yeah, just working with some great individuals, some great people that I've met, that I've had the luxury of considering friends.
Awesome, I love that answer.
I have a very serious question for Jellybean.
Oh, a serious question for you.
Go on.
Why is fart?
Why is farts?
Why is fart?
Why is fart?
I'm confused. What?
Why is
Jellybean's
fart?
obsessed with farts, so I said, "Why is fart?" Just to see what her
Why?
reaction would be.
Why not?
Why not?
Why not?
That totally like what?
I like when you have the luxury of knowing someone pretty well, messing with them becomes easy.
Why is fart? I have to remember that one.
Yeah.
Hashtag that. Hashtag why is fart. Okay,
Yes.
we got this.
Always
Okay.
got hashtag that one.
But seriously, Jellybean, I know you wrote that one for Furberries. You should keep writing because Ray's not the only one in that marriage that's got the knack for writing.
Exactly.
I
Exactly.
keep telling her that. The one for Furberries, which she'd done, I thought was so visceral and so shocking. I thought it was a very, very good idea, and I thought it was executed perfectly.
Yeah, it took me 41 years to come up with that one.
41 years.
Oh, I'm only joking. Yeah,
Tell us about the story with Furberries.
can't even remember it.
It was with Aidan and the teddy bear.
Yeah. Just
Oh, wow.
really. I don't know. Nothing's really sad about it. It speaks for itself.
Strong words.
Well, it's a great story. You
Thank
should.
you. Hello?
You guys there?
Yeah, we're here.
Yeah. Sorry, it went quiet.
Did something happen to Discord?
Yeah, I think it did too. Because I heard like a weird noise, and then it was absolute silence, and then I heard Jellybean come back with "Hello."
Yeah, I heard that too, and I was like, "Oh no!"
The Discord gods have been displeased. Man, you gotta really mind your P's and Q's nowadays. You got the Discord gods to piss off. You got the YouTube gods you can piss off.
Hey, you could probably get pissed Twitter off too if you do it right.
All you've got to do is talk about Elon Musk really these days, think you? That'll do it.
Just literally tweet Donald Trump. No other message. Just
No context. Donald Trump.
Do his @ and then just leave it there, and you'll get so much hate.
Moving on.
So, never mind. I will leave the room now. I was gonna pop in and talk since CCG seemed to have disappeared, but I guess I don't have to. Never mind.
Thank you, Ray.
You know what? No, I'm going to anyway. I'm going to anyway because I actually have a question for Ray.
Yes, please.
Obviously I love the stories you've written for my channel. Absolutely.
Gotcha.
There's no question about that. Of those stories you've written, which of them would you say is your favorite?
Oh, that's a good question.
Ooh, stay with us, Raven. Don't leave.
Oh no, this is it. I just because this is personal at this point.
I would say I would have to answer with two answers.
Okay.
Originally, I would have said a circle because that's what started it all.
Yes. Damn good story.
However, I would say, upon reflection recently, I've been doing a lot of reflecting on my writing, and I would say Kara.
I was going to say.
And I'd say Kara because I was talking to Jelly the other day about it. I've noticed since I wrote Kara, I've moved off into quite meaning-heavy stories where they have to have some kind of deeper hidden meaning to them with like big twists and so forth. With Kara, it felt more realistic. It felt more gritty.
Yeah.
And it was something which I really enjoyed writing, and I think it took off more than I thought it would. And it's a style which I want to kind of go back to, kind of going back to a solid foundation, just horror built on reality, really.
Yeah.
Because I think what was most scary about Kara was it could happen to anyone. And I actually have to give Jelly props for the Uber. I don't know the spoilers. The Uber twist in the first part, because that was all you.
Oh yeah.
That was good. That was a perfect twist. And honestly, I love that my audience bullied you into making it a trilogy. I will absolutely take credit for that. I love that fact.
That is awesome.
I completely agree with your that deeper meaning, like you said, the story of Circle, and then also RTA. Those huge deeper meanings near the end of the story really do make them. I was just curious, honestly.
Right,
So before you go,
sorry, go on, PA.
I was gonna say, so before Raven goes back on mute, I gotta ask you a question, man. Whenever Ray sends you a question and he types out "for your consideration," do you ever think to yourself, "I don't have to consider this. The story from you."
Literally every time he emails me and he says "for your consideration," I'm like, I mean, I appreciate the thought, but it's going to happen.
Right. This is awesome.
That's all. I just wanted to ask that question because it's one I haven't actually asked you like in person, and yeah, so I will once again go back to my mute. Goodbye.
Before you go to mute, though, Raven,
Yes,
I just want to say thank you for, as you said, your audience, quote unquote, bullying me into making Kara into a trilogy, because without that, without you, without the audience, it wouldn't have been the story it was. So I'm very thankful for that.
Yeah.
I am
Should.
beyond happy at the fact that happened.
So Raven, me and you both
Raven,
pretty much
share the
bullied.
link.
It's in the description. I put a
Raven-
description link for the playlist. Sorry, go on, PA.
Okay.
I was
Go
gonna say,
ahead.
so me and you both have bullied Ray to make it a trilogy.
Basically, yeah.
I didn't necessarily, but it wasn't me that bullied him. It was the people that heard the story, which I think really does indicate that was a damn good story and a damn good series.
Cheers.
Yeah. Well, I remember Ray saying, like, if it does well, I'll continue. I may continue it. And that story just took off. And I was like, dude, now you have to make another one because they're loving this shit.
Of course.
Right. Exactly.
I'm going back to my cave now, guys. I'll let you finish up. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
Going back
You
to the
could
nest.
stay as far as I'm concerned.
I ain't got much more to say.
Oh,
This is your show. Have at it.
Okay. So, well, you guys have the show. I'm gonna go re-listen to some videos. Bye now.
I mean, I can fill an hour and a half just talking to Ray and Jellybean. That's not even a problem.
Oh, Yeah.
But not even a half serious question. A quarter serious question. Me mostly just joking. So when you write that novel, Ray, you gonna let me read the whole book on my channel for an audiobook?
Mate, if you want to do that, 100%. 100%.
Oh, I will.
that's awesome.
Just make sure you put a lot of tongue twisters in there for him.
I've got a lot of tongue twisters.
Loves them.
We can't talk about the tongue twisters no more, is?
No.
No, I remember that one. The last one I did for the poem, and you're like, there are a lot of tongue twisters in here, and I read it, and I'm like, huh, these tongue twisters are kindergarten level tongue twisters compared to that one.
Yeah, do you remember it off by heart?
What terrible tone tingly. No, I don't remember. I remember mostly my heart, but I can't. Right now, I can't pronounce.
I think it was.
My concentration's more on driving.
I think if I remember rightly, it was the terrible tone tangling terrifyingly through the tense and torrid torment of the storm.
Wow.
Yeah, that was about what it was. As it lashed heavily above my head.
And you're 2 beers in. Wow.
Yeah, pure alliteration for you.
There you go.
Mr. Ray was drinking, and he was like, "I'm gonna sound smart."
That's basically how it happens. I ain't even gonna lie. Literally, when I was right, it was. I think it was part. Was it part 2, PA?
I think so.
Yeah, I remember literally sitting there, probably about 2 in the morning. I think I was like maybe 4, maybe 5 beers deep, and I literally had that fall. I ain't even gonna lie. You called me right on it.
No, you did.
I was like, damn, did he leave any words that start with the letter T out of that?
The T's. We got the T's.
But no, that's my favorite story you've written, and it's not because it's on my channel. It's because the self-awareness that kills me.
Joe, I will say the Night Watchman, I think, was the most fun story I've ever written that didn't feel like I was writing. It was just, let's see what I can do with, what was it? What did we start calling him? Mr. 2D, wasn't it? So what can we see what we can? Yeah, what can we see what we can do with him? And it was just fun writing it. And I think I said to you before, I especially liked the bit where the woman starts talking about Mary's son. I really liked that. I thought that was quite good.
Yeah.
So, what gets you in the mindset? I mean, other than 4 beers in, what gets you know, because like with me, I do a lot of poetry writing, and I just, you know, it's whatever emotion I may be feeling that I take and, you know, try to incorporate into a poem, or even, you know, like if I'm writing a story, I try to envision myself there, you know.
Yeah.
You know, so that you can envision when you're seeing the story, you can write it. At least for me, that's easier, or a poem. Like anything that might have happened in my life, or I look at other people's lives and I incorporate that. What does it take for you to get into that mindset, or that envision the story?
That's a very good question. I think for me personally, there's 2 different ways I write. There's the planning type that I do, and the just off the cuff, I'm going to write tonight.
Yeah, like sometimes he'll say to me, before I go to bed, he's like, I'm going to sit up and I'm going to write. I'm like, I'm going to write. He's like, I don't know yet. I'm just going to see what comes out. And then by the morning, it's been like, it's a really good story written.
Yeah, I think, I think I have equal, I won't say success, but I think I have equal pride in both measures. Some of them don't come out exactly as I'd expect. Some of them do. But I think it comes down to which style I choose. I mean, sometimes with the planning stage, I have like maybe a kernel of an idea, and I'll pitch it to Jelly, and we'd sit and we'd chat and we'd work through it, won't we? And by the end of, say, a 20, maybe 25-minute conversation, like we've essentially written a story.
Or sometimes I just have like an idea out of nowhere, and I'll tell it to Ray, and then he just turns it into this amazing story. So
That actually happened quite recently. It's for a story I haven't written yet. I'm going to do a story about lucid dreaming.
Oh, yes.
And I'm going to see if I can maybe pitch it to Danny Dreadful, because I'm going to write the protagonist to be a woman. So I think vocally, if I could have a woman do it, that'd be
The
great.
reason being is because I had lucid dreams for 6 months solidly, and it was really traumatic and it was really hard time. And I was telling Ray about it, and I said, "Oh, you know what? Maybe you should write this, and this could happen." And then, yeah. So giving it to Danny, it's like she's kind of reading my story, but of an exaggerated version of it. So yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I love
That
Danny.
is-
She's a fantastic narrator.
She is.
She is,
And
yeah.
that's really awesome. And it's great how the both of you inspire each other. So out of all the stories that you've written, Ray, what would you which aspect of it would you say you completed more of, like, okay, I'm going to write a story as, okay, I know what I'm going to write. Out of all the stories you've written, which side have you written more of than as opposed to the other? In other words, you just sit down and write, or you plan it? Which side would you say has more?
I'd have to say the planning side, but only because of the endeavour which Raven supported through giving me support at the beginning of my writing career and following through all the way to the end. I don't want to say too much for anyone that hasn't listened to the stories on Raven's channel, but a lot of planning went into every single one that's on his channel. Again, I don't want to say too much because you guys haven't listened. Put it this way, it was essentially a project that was over the course of a year. Yeah, I can't say too much, otherwise it might ruin it. If you guys listen to any of the stories on his channel, I would say listen to them in order.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you write, is there anything you absolutely need to have before you start to write? Like, for me, I know I write, but I could have a great idea, but until a title pops into my brain, I won't write that story. I need to have a title before I start. On the contrary, if a great title pops into my head, I'll write it down and I'll start writing that story. And I might not have any idea where it's going. I'll just start writing, but I need a title first.
See, with me, PA, when it comes to a title, like I just recently wrote a short poem, and the only name that I could come up with it when I was reading it was Empathy's Pain. So.
Good style.
It's a good title.
Thank you.
Yeah. So about you, Rick? Got anything like that you need to have before, like planned or unplanned? Do you have any like OCD things that you have to have other than beer?
Prerequisite wise, I would have to say 9 times out of 10, I need to know how it ends. Usually, obviously you're familiar with my work, PA. Usually there has to, I don't know why, but I have to try to be clever with stories. I have to try to circumvent expectations and have some kind of a twist in there.
Yeah.
So I need to have that. I need to have an idea of where the story's going, how it's going to end, and how I can take what you expect it to be and twist it. That I think.
You know me. I love my twist endings.
Definitely.
Like that one that I read you live. That one where it had like the one twist, and then right at the end, it's like, oh, it's another twist.
Yeah, definitely.
So, like, when you're writing your stories, you have to have the ending. Like, for me, well, like, I've been writing a lot more stories, especially with the Sleeping Wendigo. We have, the basis for the story, and then later would come the name, because we're like, what are we going to call this? And then it was only until recent, because I am writing, with Wendigo's help, a fan fiction for Cleveland Thought for Bone. And there's a lot of the story written. Just one day, several months ago, the ending came to me. And so you have to have the ending, but in all of your stories, was it just recent, or has it always been that way?
I'd say it's always been that way. There has been stories when I've started them and I've not known how it's going to end. There was one actually that I wrote for. I've completely gone blank. My mind is absolutely gone today. I can't remember each channel's name. God. I wrote a story called From Dirt. It started off kind of like you'd expect it to be a UFO story, but the way it ended was completely different than what you'd expect, and it actually had a whole other meaning to it. And I didn't know that's where the story was going. I literally just wrote. Oh my god! Kel just told me it was Possessed Radio. I can't believe I blanked on that. The way the story.
I mean, he's a forgettable guy.
he's definitely not forgettable. I
love that man.
Do you know, I really loved what he done with that story. But that story itself, that was one of the cases where I just was like, I'm going to write tonight. I started writing it, and by the end, I was actually surprised how it ended. I never saw it coming myself. But yeah, that was probably one of the ones that I wrote that I didn't know the ending, and I just kind of wrote it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't generally know my ending. I know how I want it to end. Like I know what needs to happen for it to end. So I have A and Z. It's just a journey getting there. But every now and again, my brain will just go, I'll be halfway through, and my brain will be like, hey, this. And I'm like, oh, you clever little bastard.
So, you know how you said that some of the endings, how your story turned out and the ending even surprised you. Did you know at that time that, I mean, evidently you would have, that this story was going to be the story that, wow, just, you know, like the one Raven did for you and even PA. I mean, that gives you a moment, you know, where you're sitting there going, this is perfect. And then to have Raven or PA Nightmare or Danny Dreadful narrate those stories, do you feel when they narrate them, do you feel that they express the story, your surprise ending even for you?
I would say with the people that I've worked with, every single one of them has brought something to the story just with their talent they put upon it. So say, for instance, I'll start with Raven. What he brings to providing voice acting to the stories I write is absolutely outstanding. There's certain bits that he does with characters, like certain inflections in the voice and stuff like that, that kind
really
of
brings it to life.
Yeah, but more importantly, it's actually what I envisioned the characters to be in my head.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a surreal feeling to a certain degree to hear someone understanding what I wrote down, but more importantly, bringing my words into existence in a way that I never even thought possible. So that is something which I absolutely consider amazing. And the same goes with PA. What he done with The Night Watchman was absolutely outstanding. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, PA, there was a lot of work that went on behind the scenes in regards to sound effects and so forth. And I think that really, really brought everything to life. Obviously, along with your narration and your voice acting with it. It was
bucket.
Yeah, and the bucket. We can't forget the bucket.
Oh yeah. The sound editing on that one was actually crazy, and I actually had AK Phoenix help me with the editing for it.
So we haven't really heard much from Wendigo. Wendigo, are you with us?
Yes, I'm here.
He's sleeping.
Yeah, I'm still here. I've just been listening to this.
So, any input, anything you want to add or ask, or?
I'll ask a question for Ray. So when it comes to your writing style, what is your biggest weaknesses and strengths?
That's a very good question. My writing style, I think if I had to be completely self-aware of what I do, I think it's a little top-heavy, isn't it? I think it's a little top-heavy.
You used to be too descriptive.
Well, I was a lot more top-heavy and descriptive than I am now.
Yeah, you've a bit.
Yeah, I have you to thank for that. Jelly one day basically told me after my first novel, she was like, "You've got to tone it down. You've got too descriptive. You're too over the top." And she didn't come from a place of obviously being mean. She wanted to see the best of me. So we got that.
It was hard to read. It was there was so much in there.
Yeah.
And it could have been simplified. And when you started simplifying it, it came across so much better.
I think the first time I started simplifying it was with my first story, wasn't it? Count to 10.
Yes.
And I went
exactly that one, and that's now my favourite story.
My favourite story is still the first thing I ever wrote.
I love it.
But in regards to weaknesses and strengths, I think it's one and the same. I think my weakness of being too over descriptive is also a strength. I think it kind of sets me, I won't say sets me apart, but I think it adds a style that if you're listening to my stories, you realise, oh yeah, that's a Ray story. Because I like to delve into what the character's thinking, what's going on in the world around them. I like to paint the picture and then let you go on the journey with them, so you can imagine where they are, what they're doing.
And that's why I like Count to 10 so much, because when you read it to me, I literally laid back, closed my eyes, and I actually felt like I could see the room, I could see the bathroom, I could see the whole house.
Yeah.
And you didn't even describe it. That's why it's my favourite story.
I think that goes back to what we were saying earlier on. I've got two different kinds of writing, haven't I? I've got the deep and quote-unquote meaningful writing, and then I've got the ones that are sort of grounded in reality. And I think Count to 10 was one of those ones that were grounded in reality. So I think that's why it probably resonates with you so well.
Definitely.
Because
So
Go ahead, let them finish, and then I'm going to say something real quick, but go ahead.
Oh, yeah, that's
Ray.
fine. I finished. That's fine.
You know, Jelly hit it right on the nail on the head. To me, like, I have listened to some of your stories on both Raven and PA's, and like Jelly said, that when you are reading the story to her, you can envision the whole story. And then when there's a narrator that reads it, and you're able to do that, when both parts, the author and the narrator, can bring that story to life, those are, to me, the most phenomenal stories that can be written, because anybody can hear a story, but if you truly listen and you can see it. And I've experienced that all the times with your stories, and even PA's and even Raven's, you know, and it's like, now these are stories worth listening to, not only from the author's point of writing it, but from the narrators, because they bring something to the table. They bring something to your story. So well done to everyone.
Definitely, I thoroughly agree. When I put stories out there and I get that kind of symbiosis, where someone's talent of literally putting my story to life and bringing it to life in ways I couldn't even imagine. When they do that and I see that and there's that sort of connection, I keep coming back to them. So anyone I keep coming back to, trust me, I absolutely respect you so much.
Phenomenal connection.
I was gonna say, one of the stories.
You roboted PA.
Is that Ray got me with the ending, because I can you guys hear me?
No,
There's no
you
way
cut out.
I'm connected.
Well, I can kind of hear you.
Internet.
Go and see free PA.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, now we can.
Jelly just said you're going C3PA.
Probably
Yeah, you're right. You're roboting.
because it's freaking raining.
Right.
But one of the
You might have to go out and come back in.
PA stuck in the revolving doors.
Right? he's doing the time warp again. Pay no mind.
Just while PA's fixing his connection issues, I noticed a question from Patience. She said, "Question for the missus. Do you have a favourite story of his?"
Yeah, count to 10.
Why count to 10?
Why? As I said before, it's the only story that I've really connected to on that level. The rest of them, I listen to them. Obviously, yeah, the story's great and all that, but that one, if I think about it now, I can still see the house in my mind.
Yeah.
You know, and that one's really stayed with me, so that's the reason why.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's those kind of stories, isn't it, Jelly? That, you know, the connection between author and narrator. There's just some of those stories that just grab a hold of you and just won't let go of you. And I've heard several of them over the last 5 and 6 years, and it's just phenomenal to me. It's just like, yeah, I'll be doing dishes or something, all of a sudden part of Ray's story or Raven's or, you know, whoever's story will pop in my head, and I'm like, really? I'm washing a plate here. So it's, you know, but I mean, you know, it's just that connection that I love.
I know.
So is me being on my phone better?
A little bit, yeah.
Yep.
What I'm trying to say, while my internet's being a dick, is the story Ray.
You're robotic again, honey. Yeah, it's.
You're going up in that spaceship.
Yeah, you're up in the spaceship, honey. It's not connecting very well. So while we'll wait on PA, I have a quick question, Ray, since I have you here in person.
You sound like it's on the phone.
Let's say, okay, like I wrote a poem called War's Dream, okay? And let's say if I came to you and said, hey, Ray, this is a poem that would take me 5.5 years to write. Can you take this poem without changing the poem per se and turn it into a story for me?
Yes, I think I could. For a while, I was doing a bit of freelance work. So I'd have people come to me saying that they've got a kernel of a story, that some of them may have characters, some of them may have an ending, some of them just may have a general sort of premise to the story, and they'd say, can you write a story? And I put it together probably in about a day, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
And sent them out to them. I don't know how they use the stories, but each one of them seemed happy with it. So yeah, I think I could. I think I'm okay at taking someone's idea and understanding it and bringing it to life. I think I'd do okay in that respect.
Thank you. After the show, can you send me your email, please? Because, you know, War's Dream, like I said, took me 5.5 years to write, okay? And I've tried time and time over the past 20 years to sit down and try to create a story of, you know, surrounding the poem and its meaning, and then hand it to a narrator to narrate. Because when Reaper's Horror and a couple other people, I cannot remember right now who narrated War's Dream as a poem, phenomenal job they did. But I would like to see it come to life as a story.
You know what? I'm 100% down for it. Any opportunity I can get to be creative in a different way, be it from prompts or from someone submitting a piece of work they've done themselves and they want to convert it to something entirely different, or as you said with a poem going into a story, I'm happy for that. I relish the challenge.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Then again, I was begging him for about 5 months to write that spider story, and he finally wrote it. So don't hold your breath.
Even if it takes him a while, because I understand, he has other projects and this and that, but just knowing that it's out there, that it's going to possibly become a story. Yeah. And also, I'm going to leave, after the story is written, I'm going to let you decide who has the honor and the privilege of narrating it.
Well, I'm more than up for that. More than up for a challenge, always am.
Yeah, I was just going to say that you probably will jump straight on it because you like them challenges, don't you?
Yeah.
When you're just sitting there writing yourself, it's like you're writing yourself. When someone gives you something, goes, turn this into this, that really motivates you, don't it?
Yeah, definitely. I think there was one time actually where...
When I asked you to write a story.
Then there was one time I think Raven came to me and that he had an idea, or I can't recall, or whether it was just, okay, we need to write this sort of thing, and I think I knocked it out in a day, didn't I?
You did.
Yeah.
It would be awesome, and thank you so much, because it's really exciting.
No worries. If you want to contact me, you can find me through any of my social medias, or just drop me a message, and yeah, I'll be happy to have a look.
Awesome, thank you. Because like I said, Wendigo and I are currently writing stories ourselves, and one of them is called Boobies. It's about a pair of haunted breast implants. We'll tell you after the show.
And I thought we were supposed to keep that story a secret until it was finished for Bard.
Sorry for the pun. Sorry for the pun.
No.
Was you meant to keep it under wraps?
No, actually, Wendigo, no, but we're not telling what's in the story. So we'll tell you after the show how this story came about. But love you, Bard. Seraphine the Midnight Bard, it's for him, and he's going to be narrating it. So,
I was just looking at the chat. I think there was a couple of questions that maybe got missed.
Yes.
Darringer asked, do you write with pen and paper, or do you only type?
Good question, Derringer.
Very good question. I'd say 99% of the time now I type, but it was a time when I used to write pen and paper, wasn't there?
Oh my God, yes.
Jelly literally bought me a book. She used to work in a shop, and a book came in. It had all skulls over it, and it was just a big blank canvas. And she said that it seemed like something I'd like, wasn't it?
Yeah, just write your ideas down.
And I actually use it quite a lot. I used it to write a couple of chapters from my first novel, and I actually used it to write a poem to you, didn't I?
Yeah, it's more of a carry it around with you. So you get a quick idea, quickly write it down on your lunch break or at your desk if you're at work or whatever, rather than just having to remember it and then coming home and possibly forgetting it or whatever else.
I think it was actually a really thoughtful and really nice present, because trying to put ideas down when you just think of them into like your iPhone to notes or something, it's so cold. When you put it pen to paper, you feel it. And yeah, I don't do it as much anymore, and I should, but yeah, I have done in the past quite a bit.
That's very good. We have a question from Chrono Wendigo.
Oh, I can't look at the chat because my laptop screwed up. My laptop decided it was going to go back crap insane.
Okay.
So,
do you see it, Ray?
From Chrono?
Yes, from Chrono.
Yeah.
So, if you could take the shoes of one serial killer, who would it be, and what would you do different?
Oh, good question. Write that one down, Wendigo.
Do you know, I think Jelly's got an answer already.
Jack the Ripper.
Okay.
Because it was never caught, so it's an open ending. You can do whatever you want, and to change it, well, I don't know, that's kind of you, in it, really.
Kill more people and not get away with it.
Yeah. Basically, no. I would say Jack the Ripper.
I was saying Jack the Ripper, yeah?
Yeah.
Me? Do you know, it's going to sound a bit like a cop-out, but yeah, I'll go Jack the Ripper as well. But only for the reason that I quite like what is... Obviously, ignoring what he done, I like what the story's become, how it's kind of romanticized. You've got quite a big gothic feel to the
That's
story.
what
You've got
I'm
quite. It's gritty. It's cold. It's foggy. It's London. The whole setting of that and what occurs to me is just so magical. Well, I say magical. He killed loads of women, but
you know,
the whole setting, the whole setting of it is just so magical. What I would change, I'd probably think twice about killing prostitutes, but yeah.
Well, speaking of Jack the Ripper, several years ago, I had a vision of writing a story about Jack the Ripper. My concept of it was this person wakes up in a dream, okay, or this person wakes up, they're in the dream but wake up, and there's cobblestones, the lights, the fog, and the buildings, and this person sees a person walking towards them with a top hat, a cane, and a coat. And as the person gets closer, they tip their hat and they go, "Good evening." And then all of a sudden, the person's nothing but skeleton.
Ooh.
So then, they're broken out of, what they see. They hear a whistle. They go running. They see a lady, laying on the cobblestone with a cop there. And as this, they're watching this, they both turn to skeletons. So my good friend Timothy Duran, so several years later, sat down. In fact, it is on the Evil Outcast YouTube channel, and it is in my playlist. He and I sat down with my concept of the story, and with what he wrote, we came up with A Ripple in Time. And I'm not going to spoil it for you. I'll send you guys the link if you would like, and let us know what you think of it.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Sounds good, doesn't it?
Yeah, no, it really does, yeah. Sorry, I've got so many ideas going around in my head now about Jack the Ripper stories.
Right?
So many now.
Kel's been lured away by Jack the Ripper.
I have.
Why don't the three of us join together and write a story?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Welcome, PA Nightmares.
Welcome back, PA.
Do you know what? I'm just catching up on bits of the chat and a few questions.
Okay.
Just to respond to Raven. Yes, that was the story I was talking about, but absolutely no rush. I was just so happy that I had the opportunity to write that. I think there was a question from Patience. Patience says, "What is the strangest thing that has ever given you an idea for a story?
Me.
Be it another story, something you saw, heard, etc."
Me.
Good question, Patience.
Do you know what? I'm not even going to deviate from what you're saying there, baby. Most definitely, the strangest ideas do come from Jelly, but they're not bad strange. I don't know if you guys heard Myopia. Furberry's narrated it, and I originally read it on the Traveller's Tavern. It was a story.
Basically, it was a murder, but it was told from the perspective of the spider.
Yes, basically, the characters are being hunted down by something. You don't know what they're being hunted down by, and by the end of it, you realise that they're spiders and they're being hunted down by a person that's trying to squish them.
Aww.
Yeah, but that, to me, when Jelly brought it to me, I thought, yeah, that's a good idea, but I never had the motivation to do it, and
so I bullied him.
So she bullied me a bit, and eventually I wrote it, and I really quite like the story.
Yeah, I really
And just a little Easter egg. There's 3 spiders in there, and they've all got the Spider-Man's names. So one of them's called Tom, the other one's called Andrew, and the other one's called Toby. Because they're spiders.
Oh, that is funny. That is really funny.
It is. A friend of mine started a story years ago. I'd love to finish it. It's called The Path Behind the Tombstones.
Oh, good tile.
Oh.
would love to get that one finished.
See, do you know what? Your titles make me really want to read the story.
Yeah, they're
so good.
they pull you in, don't they?
Yeah. I'm really getting pulled in here.
I didn't hear you. What? I'm sorry.
No, the your titles, they really grab me. Like when you say the title of something, it really grabs my attention and really makes me want to read it or listen to it, or just because you're just really good for title names.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I will second that.
Huh?
Yeah, I will second that. Literally,
Thank you.
the titles which you've told me, that they sound very enticing.
Appreciate that. Thank you. Back Wendigo, what is the name of the one that we're writing now? Not Bards and not the one for being scared. The Dead Shall Walk.
Yeah, there's that one, and then there's another story that we're gonna write afterwards. I don't know if that one's for Sabian. I think that was one that you came up with, and you want me to help you with it. That one was Tortured Souls of Evil, but we ain't started that one yet.
Yeah.
And the other one was The Dead Shall Walk.
Do you know what? You guys are making me so jealous. I've noticed recently with my titles, I've started just condensing them into one-word titles. And you guys are coming out with The Dead Shall Walk and The Path Behind the Tombstone. I need to get a bit more creative.
If you need any help with titles, just come to us and we'll read part of the story and we'll see what we can do for you.
Definitely, I'll be dropping you guys a message if I get stuck.
Yeah.
I did a story for Sabian, Cleveland Thought for Bone, a couple of years ago, and it was a writing contest, and I named that one The Masquerade Massacre.
See that as well. No, seriously, you got a ton of titles. Really.
Right. I need to write a story for me and Mina. Every time we go in the tavern, I talk about it, and then she's like, "Oh, you need to write it for me," but I'm so lazy with it. I will write it, but you can give me a title if you want. It's going to be a story about a haunted fart.
A what?
Haunted fart.
You guys actually hear me?
Yes, okay. So a haunted fart.
Yeah.
Give me a little bit more. You don't have to read the story, but basically, what is the fart doing?
I have no idea. I did write something.
Well, a general premise that we have is in the question that you ask, really. Like, if you're alone at night by yourself at home and you hear a fart,
would you laugh or be scared?
Would you laugh or be scared? So there's a story there.
We like a trailer for it.
Old man fart weather.
Old man fart weather.
These are like demonic farts.
Oh, demonic.
Fart of Satan.
Like proper bad curry fart.
Okay.
I'm joking.
You say you're joking, but you're not.
I had to throw that one in there.
Fart from beyond the grave.
The gas from the bar.
Oh no. Jellybean.
Yeah.
Jellybean.
Yeah.
Farts from beyond.
Or the main gas line. Or the main gas line.
Main gas line.
There you go. Wow.
Oh my god, this is funny.
Well, we're going to something a bit more sort of deeper, an air of surreal.
Grave farts.
Or
If you fart in the house,
Fartimus.
it's alone.
There you go.
Do you hear the fart?
Oh my gosh.
The fart, Tyndall farts.
Yeah.
So if you guys get stuck, just come to us. We'll help you with it.
Farts after dark.
Farts after dark.
Oh, that's a really good one.
I mean, the last. So Ray, the last story I wrote, I titled it "One Night Changed My Life."
See,
and there's a reason for it.
That is an amazing title. I need to start writing more than one word in my titles.
No, you do.
Well, there's a couple because I have several writing projects going, and one of them is called The Dance of the Reaper, and the other one is called let's see, The Dance of the Reaper and The Sunken Souls. Got to finish them. It's pretty cool.
Literally, bang on with the titles, guys. I'm jealous.
Yeah, same.
Well, The Sunken Souls is basically, I'll have to, if you guys want, I can add you to the Google Docs. You can read these. The Sunken Souls, long story short, is the passengers who went down with the Titanic don't know they're dead. They don't know they'll never reach New York. So they are forever frozen in time in a dance beneath the water.
Wow.
Do you know what
And
the
hello,
aspect,
furberries.
the aspect of the dancing beneath the water, that's quite haunting. I like that.
Thank you. Let's see what time it is. It's 4:01. So, I'm going to ask Jelly this too. So, Ray and Jelly, you both have been really, really bad. I want to know what you did to get on death row, what your last meal is, and what would your method of execution be?
Queen or something.
What?
Before they answer that,
She fired in front of the queen.
I gotta head out, guys.
Okay.
P8,
Aw.
thanks for being here, mate.
Thank you, PA. Appreciate it.
You guys have a good one.
You too.
You too, man.
No problem. You guys have a good
You too.
Bye.
Hello is so.
Right, so you were just at the point where you was fighting in front of the queen.
Yeah, which probably is some sort of sin.
Yeah.
And then what?
So what did you do? What's your last meal?
And your method of execution.
Probably not a curry.
Not a curry.
Method of execution.
Go copy. Go old school. No, go old school. This is the queen. She's gonna hang her under on a board.
Totally.
Yeah. Or decapitation her on pipe.
Well, no. I would be on a stool,
Yeah.
noose around my neck, and then the queen would just kick the stool from underneath me.
Brilliant.
Just like, epic, Lizzie, go for it. That's mine. What's yours?
Do you know what? As you was talking, like in the back of my head, I was like, I've got to answer this in a minute. Think of something. And I just sitting like, I don't know. But what did I do? I would have to say that I didn't do anything.
Drunk and disorderly.
No. I'd have to say I didn't do anything. I was demonically possessed.
Oh, okay.
My last meal would be whatever the demon wants.
Oh.
My method of execution would be an exorcism.
There you go.
I like that.
That's really
So
good.
unique.
In fact, I can't think of
that's
anything. Can't
funny.
think of anything. Cow.
So top me in.
Okay, real quick before this goes out of my brain, Jelly, I have a title for you for a new story, The Queen's Execution.
Oh. I like it.
Yo, I'm gonna get this hashtag going. I just noticed the chat. Justice for Ray.
Oh, wow. There's no justice for me in that one.
No. You fight in front of the queen. I was the one to be possessed.
Oh, maybe I was. Maybe it was the haunted fart.
See, look, even Raymond says you fight in front of the queen.
That's treason, see?
See? There you go.
Now, if you was possessed and fight in front of the queen, you'd be fine.
No. It would be my story, the haunted fart.
The haunted part.
There you go.
Or
There he
how
is.
about my fart got me executed?
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh, no. It's there, isn't it? A terrible execution. Like, because it's a play on words.
Oh.
Like, fart is bad, but also you're going to get killed for it.
Yeah.
Huh?
Or, I don't know.
Oh my god, this is funny.
Royal fart.
Somehow, I don't know, we always go down into farts, don't we? We just end with farts.
Yeah, well.
The chamber of the royal fart.
There you go.
There you go.
I love it.
Actually, as I'm getting hung, I'd wear a T-shirt saying I farted in front of the Queen. Hashtag Lizzie.
One of the other, sorry, go ahead, Wendigo.
You're presenting the story and you accidentally let one rip and the queen goes off with your head.
Yeah, exactly.
That was a really good attempt at the accent. Off with your head.
Off with your head, I say.
Oh,
Actually,
goodness.
she probably look me in the eye and go, "You bitch," something like that.
Another unique response to this was MD Who Entertainment. She goes, well, I would have to say popcorn kernels and the electric chair, so when they flipped the switch, I would start popping.
Oh wow, yeah.
Oh, that was still really good.
Off with your head.
Off with your head.
Off with your head.
Off with your head. Wendigo, do you have any more questions?
Okay, so here's another funny one. This is for both of y'all. If you could be any fictional horror movie killer, who would it be, and why? And who would be your first victim? By the way, you can be anyone.
Do you want to go for that one first? Or back?
Thinker.
For me,
There's so many.
it's technically he wasn't a killer, but I absolutely love his voice. It would be Jigsaw, only because he seems to me he has an appreciation of irony, and I quite like dark irony. And as I said before, he has a really kick-ass voice. So for me, it'd be Jigsaw, 100%. How about you, baby?
And there was more to that question.
What's the question,
Who would you
Wendigo?
kill?
Who would I
Who
kill?
Who would be your first victim?
Oh, who would be my first victim being Jigsaw? It would have to be whoever the director was for Saw 3 onwards, because Saw 1 and 2 was perfectly fine, but Saw 3 onwards, not so much.
Those are the ones where Amanda Young decided to go bat crap insane and become a killer?
Yeah, and when every single character somehow had some deep backstory that was going on behind the scenes that you never saw, and it all just kept tying in together. It got to a point, it was like, okay, cool, this is what Saw's become. It kind of lost that personal aspect of the first one when it was just two guys in a room, a dead body, what's going on? All of a sudden it had to be some grandiose big plan. Even though I just said that I love Jigsaw doing that, it just seemed that the writers went a bit too extreme with it.
Maybe
I can't stand that. I'm a first girl.
Yeah,
maybe
right.
they shouldn't have had Amanda Young become a killer. Like,
Yeah.
I know they were wanting her to become like his apprentice or whatever, but at least make her follow what he done instead of just going, okay, everyone dies.
Yeah, definitely.
Real quick, I'd like to say hello to Danny Dreadful, Infinite Psychosis, and my daughter, the Bubbly Couch Surfer. Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us. And
Thanks for being here.
She's a writer as well, the Bubbly Couch Surfer, my daughter.
Nice.
Great series as well. So, real quick, I'm going to do, because I was supposed to do a half hour past, but I'm going to go ahead and do this. Okay, so everyone, please head over to Being Scared subreddit. Subscribe to it. Remember, he is wanting true and believable stories about something that happened in your life, whether it was you were stalked or robbed or something. If you submit the story to him on his subreddit or his email, and he chooses to narrate your story on his channel, Being Scared, he will pay you $20 via PayPal. Also, the Chilling app is currently having a contest. I don't remember all of the giveaway right now. So head on over to Chilling. It's just start your 3-day free trial today. After that, it's just $2.99 a month. You can listen to Being Scared, Let's Read, Your Maker, and Dr. Creepin, Swamp Dweller, and many others uninterrupted. And you can change the ambient sound behind the stories. It's an amazing app. I recommend it to anyone. There's new things happening every day. Also, if you are interested on more details for the giveaway, head to Being Scared's Twitter, and I believe it's pinned. So there you go. I like that, it's like, wait, what? I submitted a story to him, so I'm waiting to hear if he's going to narrate it or not. But, sorry for the
I'm not gonna say what it is, but that's the one that you was telling me about sometime last month, wasn't it?
No, I haven't finished that one yet. I need to get the second one finished.
You told me. Oh, I know there was one you told me that you was gonna send to him. I didn't know there was a second one. My bad.
Yeah. So, anyways, so Ray and Jelly, you're having a dinner party, and you're going to invite 5 people from the horror genre, dead or alive. Who would it be, and what would you make them? And I think we might have a question in the comments as well.
Do you want to take that, or shall I take that? So we're having a nice dinner party with 5 of our best friends from the horror genre. Who would we invite, and what would we make them?
Wouldn't have that Hannibal bloke.
What is the bloke?
No, because he eats you.
And if he don't eat you, you'd have to basically prepare him human food as well, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
Because he's gonna be picky, isn't he? Like it'd be like vegetables. What's these about? Like, where's my meat? And so yeah, do you want to go for that, or shall I go for that?
Together.
Okay, cool. Let's pick them together. I'll start my
Jack the
one.
Ripper, because
Jack the Ripper. I think Jack the Ripper earlier on.
I want to know who he is. So when it's right, it was you, sweet.
Which begs the question where we send the invite.
Oh, he'll get it.
He'll get it. So Jack the Ripper, number 1. Number 2, I'm gonna go for my old pal Jigsaw. 3, baby.
As long as that creepy thing doesn't come on the bike, right?
No, he has to sing up on the bike. Cool. So Jack the Ripper, Jigsaw on a bike.
Jigsaw on his little red tricycle.
he's got to roll in like a baller and say like, "Sorry, I'm late, everyone."
From the Conjuring films, because I want to know a bit more about her.
Cool. So you're going for I can't remember her name.
Bathsheba or something.
Bathsheba, yes. Yeah. Cool. So we've got Jigsaw, Jack the Ripper, Bathsheba. What about just Ed and Lorraine? Just see how they get on with Bathsheba. That'd be awkward, wouldn't it? That'd be dinner conversation.
Yes, that would be. Yeah, Ed and Lorraine Warren, 100%.
Cool. So there's our 5, and
We have as well though. Can they bring Annabelle?
Yeah, Ed and Lorraine had them in a pocket, and that. So yeah,
that's fine then. Yeah, all right, cool.
Cool. So what we've been making?
McDonald's. I'll ask you questions.
Do you know what? Yeah, we're just all ordering in.
For them, literally that would be that. Just order it in. Nice McDonald's. Enjoy, mate.
Cool. It's like here's your Big Mac, Ed.
Yeah.
Lorraine, did you order the chicken sandwich?
Yeah.
Nuggets for Jigsaw, innit?
I have a Jigsaw. Probably more of a spicy sort of number for him.
Actually, yeah, spicy. Yeah.
He'd have to get into it, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Take it apart.
Well, that's our dinner party, guys.
Awesome. Definitely.
The moment you was saying Jigsaw, I know when you was talking about irony, I was wanting to make the joke about what he would eat would be like flash fried human with a hint of irony.
Basically, yeah.
There you go. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. So, Wendigo, any more questions for him? Otherwise, I'm going to ask him the next. I have another one for him.
All right. Let's see here. Who would you like to read your eulogy? Can be anyone.
Jigsaw.
No.
Ronnie Gray.
Right. Jelly's saying Ronnie Cray, but I'm just going to go straight up. It'd be my wife, just so I know that she's... No. Just so I know that she's outlived me. But you know, you have Ronnie Cray. You have Ronnie Cray, yeah?
It's epic. Come on, the way he talks and stuff, it's just funny.
I'm saying sweet, and Jelly wants a gangster doing a eulogy.
Aww.
Sorry.
I have to put hearts. That's
It's
amazing.
me. You've got all these people in the world, all these like anyone, and you're just me.
You can't defend it.
I'll probably stumble it anyway.
You can't defend it. You said Ronnie Cray.
Oh, whatever. Live with it now, innit? That'll be on my tombstone. Watch. Bury me next to him. Wow.
Aww.
Domestic.
So, Ray.
Yeah.
You're writing an autobiography of your life. Which chapter in that autobiography would you use to sell that book?
The only chapter that matters, when I met Jelly.
That would sell the book though, would it?
No, it will do, because that is essentially where my life began. So you don't sell a book by telling the person the middle part. You don't tell the person, sell it by telling the end. That's when my life began. That's when my story began, properly. So that would be it. When I met Jelly.
Which was at a funeral, by the way.
Yeah, we met at a funeral.
Aww.
So kind of a good selling point, really, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say that's ironic, but I'm not going to.
Oh, there you guys go. You can write a story. I got it. I got this. Okay, you and Ray are gonna. Okay, I got this. Mhm.
Oh, I'm honestly now interested.
I just by listening to this. Anyways. I'm picturing you both at the funeral. Okay. And the title of it would be A Funeral Story.
Hmm.
A funeral story. I could just see you both, yeah.
You know what? There's actually quite a interesting thing, which is kind of a bit scary in a way about that, because before I met Ray, I was in a relationship with my children's father for a lot of years, and it wasn't a very good relationship. And
I'm sorry to hear that.
The guy, life in it. But the guy,
Right.
the guy's funeral that I was at was a guy that my mum knew, and he was an elderly guy. And we used to go over and clean his house for him, and just do bits and pieces for him. And then just before I met Ray, like just before this guy died, I got back with my kid's dad to give it one last try, and I knew that it wasn't going to work, and it was just just one last chance, just to see if it can work or whatever for the kids and all that. And when I went around his house, my mum told him, and he said, "Oh, why is she doing that for? She needs to meet someone better, someone that, isn't like that and all this." And he seemed quite disappointed that I took that path. And so when I met Ray at the funeral, I kind of think that it was him watching over me and sort of bringing that into my life.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah,
I think
that's the way I
so.
took it. Yeah, because he
A
seemed
coffin's
genuinely
prayer?
disappointed.
A coffin's prayer.
Yeah, see? Yeah.
A coffin's angel. Yeah, you had an
Yeah.
angel.
Yeah, exactly.
You have an angel.
That's what I like to think anyway, because before that, I didn't think I'd ever have anything like this. Someone that completely understands me and, just everything. And I thought I'd ever find that. So when that guy, right before he died, said that, and he showed so much disappointment, and I could see in his eyes, he was like, why are you doing this for? Like, don't do this. It's a bad idea, and you need to meet someone better, and all this. And as I said, and then like at the guy's funeral, Des, right, you've never seen him before. I've been in that pub so many times. He'd never been
Right.
there, you know. But he's always been there. It's weird. Like it's yeah. We never crossed paths before that moment when it was needed.
Oh, what was your friend's name?
Jim.
Jim. Wow.
Why is he here? You're clairvoyant.
Huh?
Why is he here? Are you a clairvoyant?
Actually, we'll talk after show. Let's see. I'll come up with a name for your story. Just give me 2 seconds. So, do we have any more questions in chat? I haven't seen any. So, Ray and Jelly, do you guys have a question for us?
Do you have a question, Belly?
Not at the moment. You?
Okay.
No, to be honest, no. I've just thoroughly enjoyed all of this.
Yeah, same.
So we'll go ahead and ask you guys for your final words, and then when to go, and then I'll go ahead and close the show. And real quick, hello to Philia. She's in the chat. Hello, sis.
Hey, Philia.
Hello. You missed a really awesome show, sis. Okay, so Ray and Jelly, final words.
Okay. I just want to thank you guys for having us.
Yeah, thank you. Thoroughly enjoyed every minute of it.
If you're interested in hearing any of my stuff, you can find it on Raven's channel, PA Nightmare's channel, 42 Reads, Possess Radio, quite a few other people. Alternatively, you can check out the links.
Furberries.
Yeah, Furberries, definitely Furberries. That's your story.
Yeah.
But you can check out my links below, Jelly's links below. But yeah, thanks so much for having us, guys. I really enjoyed it. It's been a blast. And thanks for everyone who came.
Yeah, thank you.
Very awesome to have you both. Wendigo, go ahead.
I would like to thank Ray and Jelly for coming onto the show. It was really fun to have you all on here. I would like to thank everyone who is in chat. And I would like to thank Raven.
Awesome. So, everyone, just letting you know, there will be no show on April 14th at this moment. Join us, however, for April 21st. Also, thank you to Raven again. Awesome job, dude. Thank you to everyone in the chat for coming. Always awesome to see all of you here. Very special thank you to Ray, Beaman and Jellybean for being here today. Awesome interview. Really enjoyed having you both here. Really enjoyed it. And I already did the commercials, so remember, no show next Thursday, unless something changes. So remember, stay frightened, and if you do listen, the graves always whisper. And once you join the collective, you can leave nevermore. Good night, everyone.
Bye.
Night.